Certainly, many intelligent people will be aware of some of these habits and some of these life lessons, but they may not necessarily be aware of the power of them.
In my grades, I went from probably 85s to 90s, 95s, 100.
Healthy habits impacted my grades pretty well because now that I had a schedule, I was organized, I was energized, I was up for class, I was doing better than I was before.
I'm an English teacher, and all English teachers are exhausted because of the sort of challenges of having to conceptualize a lesson. But I find that when I teach in this particular way, I'm so excited. I am excited at the sort of emotional connection I have to the material that I'm teaching. I actually feel more inspired and more motivated to plan more lessons. You know, literature reflects life. All great authors reflect conflicts that occur, you know, in life. And, you know, I feel when I'm teaching in this way that I'm sort of doing right by the literature, but I feel energized. I feel happier, more excited.
Literature, I used to look at it as just something my teacher gave me to read. I have to read it, I'll read it, but I don't really care whether I understand it or not. Looking at healthy habits and comparing, it did help me understand literature because I never thought about the characters as a person and that they have feelings and they make other characters go through certain things that we do.
We started looking at literature and trying to apply the habits to the characters. I was looking at how the habits could affect them or the life lessons. For instance, Dostoevsky. I had never read Crime and Punishment. I'd never really read a story about someone who thought they were capable of murder, and then realizing after it was committed that they really were not beyond this moral influence. Not that I would ever think about murdering someone, but just to put yourself in a position like that probably teaches you about humans in general, human nature, your own nature.
I remember working on plays and thinking about what the characters did wrong and the healthy habits that they needed to work on. A lot of the characters in Things Fall Apart lied and their life wasn't that great and their self-esteem wasn't that great. But when you're an honest person, you could be in touch with your own feelings and do better in life.
Because I thought, okay, these are characters in a book. Like, their personalities aren't really gonna change. But if I take these habits and apply them, most likely I will change.
My name is Lucille Morgan. I'm Nicholas Morgan's mother. And when Nicholas was a sophomore at Stuyvesant High School, he did have a course that integrated the 7 habits and the 9 life lessons. I think what I appreciated the most about the concept of the 7 habits had to do with the group work and had to do with the students connecting. They had to apply those habits within their group work and they had to come up with a product. And that product required them to use managerial skills, cooperation skills, creative skills. And once they were at that level of synthesizing what they had read, it certainly had to have more impact to them for the rest of their lives. So it's with great appreciation on my part that Nicholas had that experience.
My name is Ana Rodriguez, and I'm Maribel's mother. Now I'm so happy with her, what she's doing, you know, the habits. Because I saw her more happy. She's more mature when she's going to think. Now she thinks first before she acts. She's more professional.
My mother does healthy habits too. Now she's even working on exercise. She walks to her job and walks back. The day I learned about healthy habits and I started doing them, I went home and I was like, Mom, English classes was good. She was like, what you mean? I was like, we got these healthy habits. And it's like, it's helping me be a better person. But she was like, tell me about it. So I started explaining to her about what we have to do and what the habits are. And she started off with one. And then as she saw that one was helping her, she went on to others.
A lot of young people, while they're idealistic, a lot of young people don't necessarily understand how does life work, and emotionally young people are very confused. You know, we're trying to figure out who we are and what our place is in the world. And so I think that all of these life lessons, they really give me lenses. Definitely in my personal life, feel like, you know, all of these lenses have been, you know, really meaningful and important.
I didn't really pay attention to exercising or anything else. I did what I have to do, but I didn't do it for me. I did it because I had to. But then once I saw that it improved the way I lived my life, I started to think about it and take care of myself. Exercising is something that helps you, not only in your schoolwork, but every day of your life. If you feel like you could do exercise for half an hour, 45 minutes, you're improving on something. And once you do that, you're improved on everything else.
I started with honesty because I thought that since if I'm honest with everything, that everything else would just come into play. I started being more honest about my schoolwork. I knew I wasn't really doing what I was supposed to be doing, so I started being true to myself. I started doing what I was supposed to do, and I passed with the grades that I knew I was able to get. I was getting about 75, 80 in the class, and then after the healthy habits, after I did all of that, I had a 95 at the end of the semester. At first, I wasn't really consistent. I would do it about 2 or 3 days out of the week. But then as I saw that it was helping me, I started doing it more. 5 days, even 7 days a week. The thing that made me stick to it is knowing that you're doing better. You don't want to go back to mediocre. You want to keep going better. So if you know that this one thing is helping you do better, then you're going to keep doing it. You're going to try harder, and you're going to just keep getting better. Keep bettering yourself. I used to be cool with everybody, but I used to be a kid that I wasn't comfortable with back before the healthy habits. But now, I'm proud to say that I'm a kid growing up in Brooklyn. An African-American teenager growing up in Brooklyn. I'm proud to say my name.